Is that book cat? Might not be, but I'll share my replay process with you. I check 3 things mainly. First is anytime I got hit. Second is anytime I hit my opponent. The third time is just my general strategy. Why was I doing what I was doing? So, the first thing is 2 examples of times I got hit. Now this, I distinctly remember why I got hit here, and I'll explain. Even if I might not be of any value. This is how I do it, and this is me being honest. So, I jumped to this position. It's really cool because I get lots of crash mix. He wants to read crash, if he wants to, like, it's going to be low reward, unless he does that. But then I could change my crash, I believe. Nope, I can't. But that's perfectly fine. Like, there's things I can do. Like, if he just decides to do this, like, I could still further my own game plan by flying in place or throwing a bomb. Like I've got lots of options, but talking about casualty in specific, he wants to be able to use his projectiles freely. And as playing with his robot, I want to be able to threaten that. If not now, then a few turns in the future. So, if he wants to read any number of my crashes, I have callouts for that. I have options to deal with that. Okay, and they full combo. They're very good. If he tries to gust, I have ways to deal with that. If he doesn't want a gust, wants a dash back, which is this is what he did, dash back. This is what he did do. I get a shockwave, and then that allows me to parry this projectile or jump over it completely. Okay, like let's do that. Like let's say I actually did that. I activated the armor accidentally, but ignore that. Whoops. So he's gonna jump this because like he can't parry it, right? So he's definitely jumping this. I'm jumping that. Okay. Like I could angle the jump to be in a better position to, continue my pressure on the next turn, which I won't go into depth with. I'm not the best person for that. Or I could go for a projectile parry, whichever you want. The point is, this is a good position. I got hit because I was checking this with armor. If any modders watching this, if you could give me a keybind to activate and deactivate armor, that would be greatly appreciated. It's a pretty big deal for this character. The next thing is, you just gotta check anytime you gotta punish, or you were able to punish, you were able to get a combo or an approach for free or something. Could you have gotten something better? So he was doing this combo here. I'll show you. Like this was a weird knowledge check with launch, which is frame 1 on non-initiative, which is something bad. Shouldn't be in the game. Regardless, he gets a full combo off of this wacky knowledge check, and he decides, you know what, I'm gonna read his burst. I shake his hands, and I get lots of damage. But let's see if I had a better punish than kill process. And as you can see, I'm using my keybinds now. Where is my punish? Like, why is this block punishable? It's some kind of bug. Like, this is just not good. Like, I can't get anything. This is combo block. It's a full parry. And he just gets away from these meaties. And I can't do a flip KP. I can't bring him to the corner. So I have to do this. So really, that was my only option. So I guess we're going to go back and find another time I got a punish. And I could have gotten more out of it. So let's just skip across all of this. This is like my story arc over here, but we're skipping all of that. So I've seen, like, there's just this position in particular, like wizards just love using Mana Strike. I don't know, maybe he never saw me fish for it, but then he used Mana Strike once, and I was like, wow, that's incredible. And I gave him another handshake and a motivational speech. I got lots of pressure, but let's look at what I had to work with. I had 7 frames. After the parry, I could do this. 6 frames actually. 6, 7. I had 7 frames. I could do ping, but if he DIs away, like, what am I getting out of that? Like, I'm not getting a combo. But what I did choose was command grab. And this is a command grab that, like, this is just a good command grab. It's just solid damage and okay. Like, it's just great. It's awesome. This, he DIs it up. It does not combo. Okay. But let's look at ping again. Let's say I did ping instead of command grab. And he DI'd for earthquake. Let's make that faster. Hold on. Full combo. And let's say he DI'd out, which is the correct DI for ping in that situation, or even command grab. I still have 7 frames. So I got my command grab, but I still got a little bit of extra damage. See that 2,330, and it might be a small amount, but it's an improvement for sure. I wouldn't have known otherwise. And he could risk a lot to DI correctly for this. Because what if I do earthquake and I'll get an actual, not on this turn, but I meant here when I was doing the punish. What if I actually did the earthquake and he didn't DI it correctly? I get full combo. You have to think about your strategy a lot and see how you do it. So, despite getting hit here, the strategy, I will say, was good. I put myself in a position where I have lots of crashes. Okay, he has to take risks to read me doing that. So that's good. But at the same time, if he doesn't take a risk, which is known for this player, then I get a situation in the future where he doesn't parry this, or he can't parry it safely. Okay, and so he wants to jump, of course, because why wouldn't he jump? Why would he take this chip damage? No one would do that. Even if you block slow, I don't think it really makes that much of a difference, does it? Yeah, it does. So he still does take chip damage, so no reason not to jump. Even dodge roll. Wow, that's new. Wow, dodge roll back just escapes, but he does give me a free approach later. Like, I get this parry, and I'm approaching for free. There you go. Like, I'm getting closer. Like, I'm pushing next to the corner. So I guess dodge roll back isn't that great. Like, it escapes, sure, but he's not. It's just not good gameplay. So he can't threaten me with Gust. That's great. Like, I don't know what you think of this, but this long-term strategy is something you should look into replay. It's also something you could also check out, for example, and not by even pausing the replay, like just looking at it as a whole, just focusing on what your opponent is doing. There's 3 main strategies when you're fighting these fighting games. One is like, oh yeah, I have a good option, let's use it. The second strategy, oh, I'll see these good options and I'll punish them. Okay, and the last option, you're hitting the opponent that's waiting to punish you for using your good buttons or something like that. Okay, like hitting waiting opponents. That's what it's called. And this is an RPS that isn't just point blank grab, jab, jump. This is a strategy that happens in neutral. Like, what is Casualty doing here? Let's look. The way he plays, he's trying to completely remove that factor. He's trying to remove this whole neutral strategy thing with his projectiles. So he wants to create situations where even if you know exactly what he's going to do, you can't do anything about it. That's the strength of a one-sided coin. And I'll skip forward. he gets a combo here, but this is not the right replay for it. It ends quickly, I die. Let's try this one. Looking for a time where you use a lot of projectiles. Okay, I think this is good. So see now, no matter what neutral strategy you're doing at this distance and with his projectiles, nothing really matters about how into his head I am. I can't do anything about it. I can only approach slowly, which I was. This was probably the best approach I've done in a bit. And then he uses Zephyr just as a last resort. But in general, if he could manage it, he will, like, look at these buttons that he's pressing: telekinesis, geyser, magic dart, gust, vial clutch, hustle, launch. Like, this is the I won't say it. But he's trying to remove that whole aspect entirely. So he can't even categorize him in this. Oh yeah, this is a person who presses his good buttons. Oh, this is a whiff punisher. Oh, and this is a guy who sees that and punishes it with a raw stinger in RPS, for example. No, he's not none of that. He's just trying to remove that completely and just win the game through I guess one-sided coins, or just like by removing my options completely. Like, there is some crazy strings where I'm forced to block halfway across the stage, and that's just kind of wild to me. Like, look at this. This is crazy. Like, this is his dream scenario where I can't do anything, and no matter what RPS ever comes into play, like, I can't do anything. So that's really considered it. Like, I've looked through these replays already, but this is my process. I just look at any time I got hit, any time I could have gotten more out of my own wins, and then I go back and look at the strategy. Like, this is something that I think is a lot less technical. You could come out of a different game with a great mindset for strategy, and with the correct knowledge, you'll get good. And this is just how I do it. Again, some people just don't do this, and they've reached the highest level of play. I don't have a list, but you could ask around. Feel free to join down below. I'll include some links that would be helpful, including David Paralakuro's guide, the technical guide on how to use this software, this mod. What he uses for, his editing is good too, and a server link, so that you can do the last thing. Like, I guess if replay reviewing can only get you so far yourself, because sometimes some other people see things you don't. So you record your replay, go to your capture settings, of course, make it slow, bring up the timeline with T, and record it and show it to someone who knows more than you. And I guarantee you, no matter how good you are, you will benefit from sharing. Thanks.